light is breaking, painted shadows on the ground. The Sonoran Desert waking with a beauty so profound. Cacti stretch their arms, reaching for the dawn as the world begins to shimmer in the light of a brand new song. Oh, the sunrise in the desert, a masterpiece so bright, colors dancing on the horizon, chasing away the night, with the mountains standing tall and the sky a canvas white. In this moment of pure magic, I feel alive inside. Golden rays are spilling like honey on the land. Every hue a whisper from the universe so grand. Birds begin their chorus, serenade in the day. In the heart of the Sonoran, I find my worries fade away. Oh, the sunrise in the desert, a masterpiece so bright, colors dancing on the horizon, chasing away the night, with the mountains standing tall and the sky a canvas white. In this moment of pure magic, I feel alive inside. Up in the sky where the dreams take flight, a drone in the air, capturing the light. With every spin and turn, a new story unfolds, chasing the clouds where the magic never gets old. Watch the world fly by in a hyperlapse view, clouds like cotton candy, painted skies so blue. Time stands still as I drift and glide in this dance with the heavens. I take every ride. I see shadows dancing as the sun breaks through, mountains in the distance, kissed by morning dew. The rivers weave like ribbons beneath a silver haze, lost in the moment in this endless daze. Watch the world fly by in a hyperlapse view, clouds like cotton candy, painted skies so blue.
Good morning, good morning. Let me take that off of there. You guys see that? It's kind of cute. Remember when we were kids and we had monsters hiding under our beds? I've got it again, Larry, an eerie feeling like there's something on top of the bed. There's the monsters hiding under the bed. I thought that was cute and I wanted to share it with you. Now, if I can just figure out how to get it off of there. Oh, there we go. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Desert Adventures in Arizona. Lucas is down here, but you got to wait your turn, buddy. Coming to you live from the Ironwood Forest National Monument. It's going to be a beautiful day here in the desert. The coffee is hot and tasting good. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Let's see who we have in the chat this morning. We had Fangirl Cheryl, first member in the house. Good morning, Cheryl. Good to see you. I pinned Cheryl's live stream at the top of the chat, so we'll go over and visit her at 11 o'clock. So I think she starts like right after me. Traveling Merton and Sue was here early. Yeah, they're on the East Coast, Massachusetts. So now they're 3 hours difference with the time change. So as you can tell, I did not change my time, but all of you did. So East Coast is now 10 a.m. No, I'm sorry, it's 7 a.m. It was 10 a.m. So 3 hours difference. And right now it's 9. So it's noon on the East Coast, 3 hours difference. San Antonio and Omaha, it's 2 hours different. Albuquerque, it's only an hour. So here we go again. It's another confusing time getting used to this. Jolly Matilda's here, another channel member in the house. Good morning, good morning. Sure, Fard is here. Welcome, welcome. Now we're on the time zone I'm used to. I'm not late. Well, it's only temporary, right? It'll be changing again in the fall, but that's okay. Scrolling. All right, there's Hawkins Family Adventures in the house. Sandra's doing a live stream tomorrow at 11 a.m. And that is for her AA live stream. So be sure to stop by and check that out. We got Janice from Oz in the house. Welcome, welcome. It's early morning where she is. Maybe a little bit better, maybe not as early. There's Lee. Welcome, Lee. Good to see you. And of course, Ava Potterfield and friends. We always start the morning off on Monday morning with Ava Potterfield and friends. She says that's her favorite day of the week because it's Monday. And she's still working. Go figure that. I did not like Mondays when I was working because, you know, you're relaxing through the weekend and Monday you got to head back to work and start the grind all over for the week. But Ava likes it, and that's good. She always has a nice, positive live stream, and we enjoy watching every Monday. Scrolling. Everybody's saying good morning. Step Band Dan is in the house. Welcome, welcome. Another channel member. Good morning to you. That second video is drone video that I put together, and I just uploaded it this morning. So this drone has capability for time lapse, and so I can put it up in hover mode and then put it in time lapse. It takes a picture every 2 seconds, and then I get a 30-second clip out of it with moving clouds, and you can see the sun moving. It's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite ways to use the drone, and then I can just stick clips together and then make a 1 or a 2 minute video out of them. And it's something I really enjoy is flying that drone, especially out here where we live. Hit the like button, Hawkins Family Adventure says. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate it. Those were all dawn morning, and this is Ragged Top Mountain here, Char. So it's looking to the west of where we live. And of course, the sun comes up in the east, and then it raises up and then illuminates everything behind me. So pretty cool. I really enjoy sunrise. Fuel prices are going up here too. I think yesterday I drove by our gas station. It was $3.65 a gallon. Yep, Sandra says AA meeting tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Pacific time on her channel. So we'll be sure to check that out. And the way Sandra runs her AA meetings, you can just pop in there and watch and listen and not say anything, or you can interact with folks in the chat. So thank you for doing that, Sandra. You're providing, some hope for people that need the help. And Sandra's gone through this, and she's recovered and doing fine. She's out there working, is a productive member of society, and a beautiful woman. So be sure to check out Sandra when she goes live tomorrow. All right. Thank you for the ones. Scrolling, scrolling. Yeah, Janice was here early last week, and I think Char, you came in a little bit late. So yeah, Char says, "Good morning, sisters and brothers, family, tribe members." Absolutely. 3 a.m. It's after 3 a.m. over there where Janice is. Ew. And it's noon where Jolly Matilda is, about lunchtime. She starts her morning off at Ava, and here she is at noon. And then another hour from now, we'll be over there at 2 hours actually. We'll be over there at Van Girl Cheryl's place. Captain Jack Scrapper's here. Welcome, welcome. I think he's down in Florida right now. Good to see you. We're in the same hours now, right? West Coast and Arizona are now the same. So very confusing, very confusing. There's Roy and Becky's Travels. All right, they're on duty. On duty watching the duty. So if you don't know, Roy's doing a volunteer work there in the La Posa South, and we enjoyed our visit there in La Posa South. We were there for 8 days before we had to head back home. And Roy is over there watching people who go through the dump line and making sure they have a sticker. So you have to have a sticker. Of course, that comes with the permit when you buy it. And then you can dump your RV tanks and also get water. You also need a sticker for drawing water in La Posa South. And then using the trash, you're supposed to have a sticker too. So Roy and Tim from CR View are both doing that. And then Mike from, I just drew a blank on his channel. Mike is also working there in the office. You're welcome. You're welcome. She Devil Adventures popped in. Blanket hello to everyone. She's working and lurking. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, Mondays are my lazy days now. Sandra works all weekend, so she's resting up on Mondays. Happy tribe here for sure, for sure. So I'm enjoying some juice this morning. This is fresh squeezed grapefruit and orange juice. So we have a few citrus trees, a lot of orange trees. We have quite a few orange trees, and this is a Valencia orange, great for juicing. So it's now time to remove all the citrus from the trees because they're blooming now. So we have blooms and they're starting, the bees are coming in and doing their job pollinating the blooms, and then we'll have new fruit for the next season. And so we have to go through and pick what's the remaining fruit that's still on the tree. So we did that, and then we picked the rest of the grapefruit, pink grapefruit, and then we're juicing them and putting the juice in the fridge. So nothing better than fresh squeezed. And so I mixed a little bit of orange juice with some grapefruit juice, and then put a little honey in there to sweeten it up. Good stuff. Good stuff. Jolly Matilda is taping up boxes, working on her move. off the East Coast, closer to the Midwest. There's Mike. Welcome, Mike. Oh, it's not coming up. There he is. Mike's Adventure Sparks. Welcome, welcome. Saw Mike over at Ava Potterfield and Friends this morning. All right. Ours is 220 a liter, so multiply that by 3.5 for 1 US gallon. Wow. So let me see. So 220 times 3.5. Oh, that's not right. 220 times 3.5. It's like $7 a gallon. Is that right? That's pretty expensive. I woke up at 3 a.m., worked 20 hours in 2 days. I know that's typical for me to wake up at 3. I think so many years working, getting up at 3 and getting ready for work and getting into work at 5 or 6 in the morning. I still wake up at 3 a.m. I get to lay in bed now, though, and sometimes fall back to sleep again. Yeah, we're in the same time zone now. Awesome. Yeah. Uh-oh, there's a darn mouse in my kitchen. Eek. We've had that here in the desert too. We've had little field mice get into the house. Need a sticky trap. In fact, we keep one on hand just in case. We don't have, wait a minute, Jolly Matilda has cats, right? So she has a whole bunch of cats, and I imagine wherever the mouse is, the cats are probably sitting there waiting for it to come out. Traveling Merton and Sue, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. And let's say hi to Lucas. Oh, he's over here napping. You ready to come over here and say hello? Come here. So he's been out playing. He's ready. He's in here relaxing, hanging out with Dad. Yeah. You're doing good, huh? Yeah, he's a good boy. He met someone new yesterday and did surprisingly well. We had a gentleman that comes out here and spends a couple months in the winter at his property down south. And he was at the gate, and of course, Lucas is barking at him. And then I walked out there, and Lucas made friends with him. Once he knows he's okay, then he settles down. Scrolling. We're having the same problem. Oh, well, it's springtime and all the critters are waking up, huh? Yeah, it is delicious. You're welcome, Mike. We're glad to have you. There's Misha Lee. Welcome, welcome. Working around the house and listening. Thank you. Thank you. Misha does a video on Sundays. She plays the piano and does music. So be sure to check out her channel. That's for Ron 91 unleaded. Oh, $7 a gallon? Yikes. I hope we don't get that high. I understand California is up around $6 a gallon right now. So 2 old cats in here just raised their head to look at it and then went back to sleep. Well, get the youngsters going. We had we had cats for many years, and Sasha was our last one. And she was a pretty good mouser, but our chocolate lab was a good mouser too. If there was a pack rat or a mouse inside a cabinet, like in the garage, he'd tear that cabinet up trying to go after it. I was lucky I filled my tank the day before the poop hit the fan. Yeah, hopefully it settles down. Oh, there's Crafty Traveler in the house. Welcome, welcome. And Crafty Traveler, I saw you dropped a video. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So if you want to drop that link, you go right ahead. We're still under $5 a gallon in Willits. Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Better fill everything up, though. I understand everything's going higher. $3.19 a gallon there in Q. So Tracy is still in packing mode. She moves on March 31st. So the end of the month. Well, it's nice that you have plenty of time. Kansas is still $2.99 for gas. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, we have filled all the tanks in our vehicles, Crafty Traveler says. Good idea. Okay, so there's the link for Crafty Traveler's video. She does camping with her friends up and down the California coast. And the weather's nice there right now. Let's see what it is here. Hey, Siri, what's the weather here today? No, that's not what I wanted. Hey, Siri, what's the weather here today?
The forecast is calling for rain today.
Ooh, rain. Drizzle today, rain, 76 degrees. We like that. Let's see. Let's check it out. When's the rain going to show up here? When I'm looking at my radar, looks like this afternoon. See the blue? We got like an 80% chance of rain this afternoon around 2 or 3 o'clock. Yeah, around 3 p.m. it says. That'd be nice. It's very dry here right now. It's dusty and dry. We didn't get enough rain to support the wildflowers. The wildflowers came up initially, and they've pretty well died off because there wasn't any supporting rain. So caught a huge rat in the engine compartment. Could have put a saddle on it and rode it to town. Yep. That's why when I'm parked here in the desert, even when my vehicle's parked outside around our house, I always pop the hood, and the pack rats don't generally settle in an area that's real airy. So I always pop the hood on vehicles that are parked outside. Yeah, we all do, right? Oki and I were talking the other day. We've been here for 20 years, 22 years. 2004 is when we moved in after we had the house built. So this is 26. So this summer will be 22 years. That's the longest we lived anywhere. And boy, it's easy to collect stuff, especially when Jeff Bezos delivers it right to the gate. There's Vintage Van Life. Welcome, welcome. And he's here in Ironwood. Good to see you, Brian. Yeah, it's lucky it didn't do any damage. When those pack rats get into your engine compartment, they chew up that wiring. I had a motorcycle that had a pack rat in it, and it got in there and chewed a bunch of the wiring underneath And it took me a few days to splice everything and get everything working again. Not fun. It's easier just to pop the hood. Willits is partially sunny, 50 degrees with a high of 61. Very nice, very nice. Where's the weather where you guys are at? Do a quick weather check and throw it in the chat for us. I think it's springtime arriving here. All of our trees are starting to bud out, and all the citrus, as I mentioned, are budding out. So we're having to take the remaining fruit off of the trees and then juice them. So now we have some really good fresh juice. Yeah, it was beautiful. That just didn't get the rain at the right time. All right, Sandra, rest well, and we'll talk to you later. Yeah, I put a light under our old RV that we camp in. I put a light under there and popped the hood. So far, have not had a pack rat in there. Janice says she's been there all her life. Yeah, it's not easy moving, that's for sure. It was a regular rat, not a pack rat. Okay. I think it was hunting pack rats. I did find a pack rat nest under the battery. Yep. Yeah, they'll move in. I have a 3-bedroom house full of stuff. Yeah. Easy to do, easy to do. What we've tried to do, Oki will look at things and say, I haven't used that in 2 years. Maybe we'll go ahead and donate it. So the last few years, every once in a while, we go through our stuff and we take it and we donate it to the local place we go to. All right, so here we go. Janice says it's going to hit 83 Fahrenheit where she's at over there. Very cool. Not too bad. Not too bad. No, popping the hood on a motorcycle isn't very easy. You're right about that. Not much you can do about that. Lee's saying, see you later. Have a good week. Thanks for popping in, Lee. Appreciate it. I collect books and craft supplies, right? Until visiting Arizona, it was hard to see how there could be such beautiful sceneries, and they shift in an amazing way. Yep. And the interesting thing about the desert here, in a lot of places where you folks live, you have trees, right? You have trees all around you. Can't see the forest because of the trees. Well, out here, look at that. We have trees, but they're small trees compared to what most of you folks have. And so you can see the sky up here. You can see all the saguaros. You can see everything. And now we have to start watching for rattlesnakes because it's starting to get warm. And then these guys, we've already seen some tracks. And then I had a gopher snake, pointy tail gopher snake across the road right in front of me. I was headed to town and ran right over him. I don't like to do that, but the timing was not good for him. So we're starting to watch for rattlesnakes, and the only good rattlesnake here is Rocky the rattlesnake. So this is my friend here, Rocky the rattlesnake. He's a nice rattlesnake. He's got a nice rattle on him, and hopefully he'll help me keep the rattlesnakes away. Been here by myself since I was 18. Well, easy to collect stuff, right? Yeah, Lucas. Yeah, it's beautiful in the summer if you're a lizard. Hey, there's Ivan K. Welcome. $1.45 a liter in British Columbia. Not bad. All right, have to work and lurk a little now. Okay, Cheryl, thank you very much. Our snakes don't come with toys, right? Okay, what else is going on? So, grandkids came over yesterday. Our grandson is 18. We helped him with a car. We got him a 2002 Toyota Camry a number of months ago, and so he's learning how to take care of his car, do the maintenance on it, and all of that. So he came over a couple weeks ago, and we did an oil change on his car, and he couldn't get the oil filter off. It was cinched down too tight, and so he had to take off last time. So I had him come back, and he came back yesterday, and then I bought a breaker bar, and we got the oil filter off, so we replaced that yesterday. So that was good experience for him, and learning that you don't over tighten oil filters. So I really enjoy, bringing him along and showing him, how to take care of his vehicles. And he is doing a good job taking care of it. He's keeping it clean, just keeps it washed, keeps the interior cleaned out. And now he's learning maintenance. And this car I found on Marketplace was $3,500. It's in pretty decent shape, had I think it had 160,000 miles on it, 4-cylinder, so he can't get in too much trouble with it. And he's put 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it now, and he's making payments. So I told him I'll sell it to you for $2,500. And so he's got a part-time job. He's making payments of $75 to $100 a month. And he just deposits those straight into our checking account because he's banking at the same bank. So every time he makes a payment, I send him a text back and say, thank you for your car payment. This is the remaining balance. And so he can kind of keep track of what he owes. So he's learning responsibility and doing great. Yeah, it is a good car. And that's what I kind of targeted for him. They'll run to 250,000. It's got 160 on it now. It does have an oil leak on the rear main seal, so we're watching that. So we'll have to get that repaired. But we're just running around town. He goes back and forth to work and hangs out with his friends. It works great for him. Yeah, he's not learning that from where he should be. I'll just say that much. So I have to do that for him because he's not learning it where you would think he would learn it, right? Exactly. Yeah. And the issue with this oil filter on Dylan's car is you couldn't even get in. It's so tight in there, you couldn't even get in and drive a screwdriver through it. So I ended up buying a strap wrench that you could go in from above, and then the strap wrench worked with a breaker bar. We got it off of there, but it took us a little while. I was supporting it, and he was pulling it. So it worked finally. I have the Lexus E300, same car pretty much. Yeah. Those Lexus will run forever. I think we have a neighbor that's got 300,000 on their Lexus. Yep, he's learning. He's definitely learning. Yeah, for sure. Speaking of vehicles, um, we had anyone who's followed us for a while knows that we had a 2014 Dodge Ram. This had the six-cylinder 3.0 Eco Diesel in it. Been a lot of trouble for us since we bought it new in 2014. A lot of issues with the anti-pollution system on it, the EGR system it's called, all kinds of recalls. Anyway, we kept it 12 years and then it was time to get rid of it. So I looked at what dealers would give for a trade-in, and the best I could find was 6,000 on this pickup. So I went to Carvana, and Carvana offered me 8,000. So I sold it to Carvana. They came by the house and they picked it up and they hauled it away. And they'll fix it up and sell it to someone. Now, when we sold it to them, it was in good shape. Just did oil change and everything on it. There was nothing wrong with it. No check engine light. It has 130,000 miles on it. So it was time to get rid of it and then move into something else. So I'm 70 years old. I'm not, I'm still interested in working on cars, but physically it's getting more difficult for me. So normally for most of our marriage, Oki and I just bought used, right? We bought used vehicles up until this Ram. We did buy the Ram before I retired to carry it through into retirement, and we drove it for 12 years. So it served us well. We had to really keep up with it. But I wanted something more reliable that could take us forward another 12, 15, 20 years. And so I started doing research on it, looking at vehicles. Now we need a pickup because we live out here. Quite often we need to haul stuff, and you can't haul stuff in an SUV. So we pretty well need a pickup. And so we decided, well, we don't need a full size pickup. Let's downsize. So I started looking at Toyota, of course, sells a lot of the Tacoma pickups, but a lot of those are 4 cylinders with a turbo. And it's okay. They do fine for light work, but I decided, isolated severe thunderstorms in your area within the next 24 hours. Oh, right. So I decided to look at Nissan. So Nissan makes a really good engine. And so I looked at those, got onto some forums, watched what people were saying about the smaller pickups. And then, there's a picture from way back. Oop, did it come up? Nope. Let's see here. No, it didn't come up. This thing is running really slow today. So anyway, started looking at Nissan Frontiers. Nissan Frontier. So it's a 3.8 liter truck, and this is what it looks like. Right now, dealers are having a hard time getting rid of their new vehicles. So they're offering big discounts right now on new vehicles because not many people can afford to buy new vehicles. And so this is one they had sitting on the floor. We actually test drove a different one, but this one has a lift kit in it. It's the Nismo version with a lift kit, leveling kit, and upgraded wheels and things like that. So that's the one we decided to buy, and had it about a week. And it's really a nice truck, very comfortable. It's not a tiny truck. It's like, a 3/4 size, from the old Ram pickup, but it's got 6,000 pound towing capacity. So it's going to do just fine for us. Anyway, that's the new truck that's sitting in the garage now, and I'm really happy with it so far. The nice thing about it is it doesn't have fuel injectors. It's naturally aspirated for the guys out there. It doesn't have fuel injectors. It's old school, 3.8 liter, Nissan motor. They run forever, and they put them in a lot of their vehicles. And the good thing is they haven't modified it too much. So I think it's going to carry us forward for many years. And this dealer that I bought it from gives you oil changes for life. Of course, you got to pay for it. So it was like $900, but every time an oil change comes up, you take it in there, they change the oil and filter, and they don't charge you anything. So if you keep the vehicle for a while, you're going to end up making money because they typically charge about $150 for an oil change around this area. So it won't take long before I make that money back. Yeah, Nissan does still make the vans, and in fact, we saw one the other day in town there. They still make them. We had 2 Nissan 4x4s pulling a van around Australia. Good, reliable vehicles. Yeah. Yeah, I've read that. And I think this is going to serve us well. So it's $1.25 to $1.39 where Vanderbilt Shirlow is. That's per liter. $4 per liter. Yep, it's going up for sure. Yep, they make the vans, and I think it's about the same engine too. They quit making the Titan, the full-size truck that Nissan used to sell. 2025 was the last year they made the Titan because they weren't selling them. They had a good engine in them too. All right, what else do I have? Oh yeah, so grandkids came over yesterday. My granddaughter Caitlin enjoys going out here into the monuments, so I took her out in the side-by-side and we went out and tooled around. She's 16 years old. She's got her learner's permit. She's doing really well, and in practicing, you can never get enough practice when you're 16, right? And she enjoys driving, and she's a good driver. So I took her out here in the side-by-side, and we went up to the north to the county line, which is about, 6-8 miles north on the dirt road. And I stopped and had a little chat with her. Now, I've mentioned before that when summer arrives here in the desert, it's critical to have water, some kind of moisture, right? If you're out here cruising around and you break down or you get lost, you have to have water. Well, this one young lady did not. Her name was Melissa. She was in town in Tucson, downtown clubbing. This is like last summer. And I don't know the full story, but she got in a car with another guy and ended up out here at the monument, inside the monument. She was actually stopped by security out there at Silver Bell Mine sometime 2:00 in the morning. I assume that they were lost, but they ended up going around Ragatop and then coming down towards, heading back south towards our place. And they crashed into a tree. So I don't know what kind of vehicle they were driving, but there were a couple of bottles in the car. At that point, they separated. So she took off walking, and then he took off, and he actually made it out to the freeway, I found out later. And I think she was out here wandering around, trying to figure out how to get back where she came from. I'm still looking for that photo. And so she didn't make it back home. Her family reported her as missing. So you know how somebody is reported missing, they don't immediately come out right away. Well, the following day, we all started looking for her. And then the day after, they decided to bring the helicopter out, and the county rescue folks started flying around looking for her. Well, they found her, and she was passed away. So up there at the county line where I drove up there with my granddaughter, I stopped and I put that water bottle down and I said a little prayer for Melissa Mendez. This is a memorial that her family put up there. And so I told Caitlin, if you ever get into a vehicle with another guy or another person, you need to know where you're at, what direction you came from, how, if you got dropped off or had to get out, how would you get back home? Well, you've got to have water with you, no matter where you go, especially in the desert. And you have to know where you're at. So, our grandkids are like this. They're on their phones all the time, even when we're driving. They're on their phones and they put their phones down and they're looking around like, where are we? So that scares me to death, especially my granddaughters. So I stopped and I chatted with Caitlin for a few minutes and asked her some questions. So where are you? Which way are we going? She didn't know what direction we were going, north, south, east, or west. She could see Ragged Top. That's a good direction finder for where we live out here. But she wasn't clear on how to get back home, or, if you were dropped off right here, how would you get back home? And so I'm trying to impress on her, be careful who you ride with, especially if it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, Melissa didn't make it. And it's very sad. She was 22 years old, just in the prime of life. It was very sad. We were out there driving around trying to find her before, we knew something bad had happened to her, and not much we could do. I took the drone out and was, cruising around, but it was not easy to find her. All right, Cheryl, we'll see you over there in a few minutes, 15 minutes, and Cheryl will be live. Nissan used to be Ford's. He's 75 and gets the small trucks too. Yeah, I'm 70, coming up on 70, so I want something that's going to keep running and not quit. There's Box Fan D. Welcome, D. Now, CR View, you guys know I talk about CR View quite often. They did an interview with Box Fan D for a series on Quartzsite, how you got to Quartzsite. And so it was a very nice interview. Dee went through her history, how she evolved. Well, she grew up as a nomad. Her family were nomads and they did farm work when she was growing up. But as an adult, uh, she she was kind of forced into the nomad life, and CR View did a really nice interview with her on their channel. So be sure to check out CR View. And Dee, I see you just dropped a video. Oki watched it this morning, so I got to go back and watch it. Looked like Dee did a really nice poem on her video that she dropped today. Thank you, Tracy. You know, you've got to take care of your grandkids and your kids. My dad had me out there with a wrench when he was a mechanic. He helped me find a 1962 Corvair, and he said, "Okay, I saved up $150 for it, working at Lucky Wishbone, flipping hamburgers and cooking chicken, and I got $150 saved up." And he went out and bought it for me, and there it sat in the driveway. And he said, "Okay, we need another $100 to rebuild that motor." This is back in 1972, 71, 72. So it didn't cost a lot of money today, but back then it was a lot of money. So I'm saving up. I got my $100 and I gave it to Dad, and he went out and bought the parts, and we dropped the motor out of that thing. And I learned, handed him wrenches and held the light for him and learned how to rebuild that Corvair motor. And of course, a lot of things that he worked on, I was right there as his helper. And of course, I got yelled at. "That's the wrong wrench. Go get the other one with the red handle." And but I learned a lot from my father as a youngster. I was the only son, and I wanted to be out there. I wanted to be out there learning. I was interested in that stuff. So I always credit my father with learning how to wrench on things. And so I'm trying to pass that on to my grandson, Dylan. He doesn't have that in his life. And so, anytime he needs to work on his car, and his mom too, she brings her car over here. She does her own oil changes in the garage here. And so he sees her doing her own oil changes, and he now knows how to do his. And so I bought him tools, got him a tool bag set up that he keeps in the back of the car. He's got extra oil, extra radiator fluid, and he knows how to check everything. Now, is he a typical teenager? Does he get a little lazy sometimes? Yeah. So we have to remind him, "Hey, have you checked your oil lately?" No. Well, let's go do it. And so, especially when you have a car that's leaking a little oil, you got to really watch the oil level. So he's learning, and that's my legacy for him. When I'm not around anymore, I want him to remember that Grandpa was always there and he taught me a lot. So that's my legacy for him. And, for the girls, I'm out there. If they want to wrench, they can wrench, and I'm out there running around the desert with them. So worst thing you can do is leave your vehicle. That's the first thing we learned, right? And that's what happened, Janice. So they crashed their vehicle. He went one direction, and I think that Melissa, wanted to go back the way they came because that's the direction she started walking. So it's dark out here. It's pitch black out here in the desert at night. She started off walking, and she didn't make it. So you can get through most of a day out here. It was right around 100 degrees, 98 to 100 degrees that day. And you could make it for about a day. And if you don't have water, you're not going to last. So that's what happened. Yeah, exactly. A vehicle is easier to spot from the air than a body. Yep. And she was sitting underneath a tree, and they found her with the helicopter. Very sad, very sad. Thank you, Dee. Appreciate that. All right, we're at 56 minutes. We're going to go raid Fangirl Cheryl here in a few minutes. So let me get through the chat here. It's not where we are. It's usually, are we there yet? Right, Janice, right? Very tragic. See our views in the house. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. I was just bragging on you guys. Crystal's got her own channel now, too. She's doing book reviews. So we're watching her. No, you did fine, Dee. You did fine. So I mentioned earlier that CR View interviewed Box Fan D, and she did just fine. There's Dee's interview right there. Very cool. Excuse me, I'm burping. So click on that link and save that to watch later after Fangirl Cheryl. Great interview. Yeah, you sounded just fine, Dee. Yeah, Tim is a good interviewer. He interviewed me too, and I guess that's coming out sometime over the next 5 or 10 years. I don't know when he's going to post that, but I think pretty soon. And I'm the same way. I'm not a good interviewee, I don't think. A lot of remote areas in Australia, yeah. And it gets hotter in Hades there too. That's right. Well said, Dee. You do well considering all that you've been through, right? And everybody enjoys supporting Dee. I can go for days and not cite another person. I kind of like that. My husband taught both our son and daughter. Our daughter did more with car mechanics. Our son is indifferent. Yeah, different personalities, right? And my youngest daughter, I've told this story before, but she was on a date with a guy, and she had a flat tire. He didn't know how to change a tire, but she did. So she was out there changing a tire while he's standing there with his hands on his hips. She got the tire changed because her dad showed her how to do it. Yeah, he's got tools and bags, and every time I see something in the store, Dylan needs this. So I pick it up and I hand it to him, show him how it works, and put that in your tool bag. You might need it. Yeah, I hear you, Dee, and I'm kind of getting that way. You know, I'm pushing 70. I still do my oil changes, but now I don't have to on the new truck. Satellite phone is a great idea. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate that. All right. We got to get over there to Fangirl Cheryl's place. I'm going to run my outros, and then I'll see you over there in a few minutes. I think she's probably getting cranked up right now. So I'm going to run my outros. Which one should I run here? Let's see. Yeah, we'll do this one. See you next time.
Wake up to a brand new day. Smile at the sun's warm ray. Greet the world with open arms. Spread good vibes and charms. Kind words change the scene. Make life feel like a dream. Help someone who's in need. Plant a little kindness seed. Shine bright like a star. No matter where you are, kindness takes you far. Light up the world. Together we can make it. Love's the way to fake it. Leave a little joy behind. In every heart you'll find. No need for heavy words. Be like chirping birds. Simple acts can heal. Make every moment real. Shine bright heavy words be like chirping birds. Simple acts can heal, make every moment